Welcome to the Mole Confidential Season 3, Episode 8.
All right, we are back in Mole Confidential, as Giz has stated. Today we have Piper and Giz in their workout outfits that they used when they were pulverizing the contestants in our last challenge on those mole bridges. We have Sarah and we have Ross. So let's get this started. Giz has our first topic.
So there was a comment about the lightning at the end of the elimination, asking if it was a coincidence or if we had used a plugin or anything. It was just a coincidence, but it was an amazing coincidence, so we just decided to leave it in there because it was so cool. So none of us used any like glitches or plugins or anything to make the lightning appear, so it was just a coincidence.
And the next topic I'm going to address, and that was wanting to know what happens after the next episode. So the episode coming up this Friday will be start off like always with the two challenges, and then the players will take the quiz. But right after the quiz has been revealed, the episode will end. And then what will happen is next week we'll have a confidential if we need to. If there's not any real issues to address, we won't, but we'll probably have a confidential. And then the following Friday, we'll have all of the players coming to a special ceremony room where the finale will happen. The first thing we'll do is all the players who've been eliminated, starting from first eliminated all the way up until the fourth to last player, will all basically say who they think is the mole, who they think is the final survivor. And we'll go through and let everybody have a chance to make their picks because they haven't actually seen all the challenges. If the first few players eliminated were not able to come back for any of the challenges or any of the recordings. So a lot of the stuff that you're seeing on the videos is the first time they've seen some of these challenges. So they don't have a lot of ideas on who was in the final three. But they'll make their picks. Then what we'll do is we'll reveal the mole's last victim, and then we'll reveal who the final survivor is, which will then show us who the mole is. And then we'll reveal the diamond totals to see if the mole succeeded or if the final survivor did. So basically, Friday, final episode, Tuesday, confidential, next Friday, the finale, and the following Friday will be the reunion. Now, for the reunion, we'll bring all the players back, and if they can make it, and we'll talk about every challenge, let players talk strategies they used, difficulties they might have had. Maybe they were acting mole-ish, maybe they weren't. Just issues, let them talk about everything. We'll give our feedback on it, and then that will wrap the entire season 3 of The Mole.
Woo!
Now, Piper had the next one.
In the last video, we've had a few comments about what the players are saying in their interviews, whether the mole can actually say anything in the interviews, and the logic behind it. Basically, I was the mole in season 1 and a player in season 2, so I've had experience in both ways. And in season 1, I would say I would write down things that I thought other people had done that were mole-ish, and then I could say in the interviews, "Oh, Ross did this. He could be the mole. That's what I think." Sorry, Ross. And then in season 2, as a player, because I cottoned on. Well, I thought I knew who the mole was quite early on. Instead of saying every single week, I think the mole is Sarah because blah 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 blah. I decided to mix it up a bit because I didn't want people, watching the mole thinking, "Oh, Piper said this person in her interview every single time. It must be that person." So I kind of mixed it up a bit and said random people just for the entertainment for the viewers at home.
All right, so the next question was people wanted to know why I have a button, an axe, and a compass. Well, I've talked about some of these before, but the button is easy. You can see when I have the text console up, which a lot of times I like to record without it, like this. But when I have to have it up, I like to have a button in my hand because it doesn't take up as much space on the right of the screen. You can see when I switch to the axe takes up quite a bit of the screen. So the button really is just there so I have something that's very tiny that takes up very little screen. Now the axe The axe is for me to change the screen for the wool colors, and I've showed you before. But the way that works is I select my top spot, select my bottom corner, and like so, I've just now changed. So I use the pickaxe right before the elimination starts to select the screen, and then I change the colors from white to green and red. Now the compass, I'm assuming, Piper, you probably have a compass in your hand.
I
Show
do.
show
Yep.
them what happens when you use the compass.
Now you see me? Now you don't. I'm up here.
Hacker, hacker
Hello.
reporter,
I'm up here. You
So
can
banner.
go through walls.
yeah, the compass lets ops go through walls. So I would use this, and so did
Whoa.
Piper and stuff, like when we want to get to a room quicker. Some of the challenges, I could use it to hop into the rooms. On Piper's challenge, which I forget what number it was, the word challenge, I could use it, and she could use it, as could the others, to teleport into the room where the person was putting all their words up. So that's the reason I have the three things that you see. All right, and then the last topic, this is one we can all talk a little bit about, but we've had some people say that the challenges are kind of unfair or too hard. So I'll let you guys first say what you have to say.
Well, there was four of us who helped Bilbo's this year, well this season, and we all helped build, and then we all helped test all the challenges. And to be honest, if the players aren't successful, it's either two things: they're not working as a team, which they should be doing, or it's the mole sabotaging. So we have tested everything, we timed stuff, we made sure everything was as fair as it could be.
Um, well, just that all the challenges can't be easy peasy. I mean, we've got to make them challenging. I mean, that's what the word is. It's challenge. So there's got to be some kind of hardness to it. But I don't think the challenges were that hard, really. I mean,
We
the
could have made them a
players.
lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, I had to make mine
Yeah.
easier, but the players had all the chances to complete the challenges. But obviously, the show is the mole, so the point is that you either are the mole, or you're pretending to be the mole, or you're trying to watch the moles that might make you mess up the challenges. It's the mole. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know what makes a good challenge for the mole, at least in my opinion, is any challenge that the players have the opportunity to win, but the mole has the opportunity, hopefully in a covert way, to throw the challenge. These challenges, as they've already stated, were tested. We played them. They are quite doable. Now there are other factors that can come into play. Sometimes players might stress out. Sometimes players might freak out, or get nervous. You're being recorded, so maybe there were some nerves at times with some players. Maybe they were acting molish. Maybe the mole was at work. There's a lot of things that can go into it, but the challenges are doable, and we definitely made sure if they were like a timed challenge, there was plenty of time. So, we'll talk more about all of these challenges after the finale when we get to the reunion, where all the players will be able to give some feedback. If it was a player who struggled, they can let you know if they actually truly struggled, or if they were, acting mole-ish, or maybe they were the mole and they struggled and to throw the challenge. But the challenges were doable. So I don't think the challenges are any harder than they were in the past. I think we had a lot of great challenges this season. So yeah, that's all we're going to say about that. All right, so here we are at challenge 15. Now this challenge was, I think, originally kind of thought of by Giz, and Wolf built it and changed it to his liking. But you can see here is the sign for the king. And this was the first room the players went into. Now, this, I believe, is where Piper was attacking.
Yeah.
Now, after they attacked Piper, there was this chest over here when it told him the next command, and inside here was I think a diamond pickaxe, and I think there was some arrows in there also.
Yeah.
So then they came back over this way, and they went through here, flipped this lever, and this is where they were fighting Gizmo.
Hey.
And then of course, there was a chest here, and I think this chest only had a lever.
Yeah.
Now, there was some confusion. The players thought there might have been a sign up here, and they broke it, but I don't believe there was a sign. Now, once they flipped the lever, it obviously set off all of this obsidian, or all the TNT blew up the ground, and the obsidian was there to try to protect it, so it didn't give them too many options. So they had to go through the maze. And this was kind of the reverse logic sign to try to get them to flip the right lever. Of course, initially they picked the wrong one, and then when they did pick the right one, they headed through here. Here was the signs that basically told them that what they had to do here. And this is when they had the left and right path. The right path here led to where Wolf was, and he fought them. And then inside this was the flint and steel, which they were then able to take back through the maze here, and then go back to where the wool was, and then they set the wool on fire and made it to the finish mat. So this challenge, I think, was probably where some of the people were kind of upset and thinking things were too tough, or I was being too mean. And we took away the points because of the two rules. The players broke one, which was do not break any blocks. We'll address this challenge more in the reunion when we talk about each challenge. But the rules were stated clearly, and I always make a point in telling the players to listen to the rules, make sure they understand it. Always ask them, if they understand, and then we move forward. Sometimes a lot of that doesn't make it into the final edit because it would be too boring. But they knew the rules, and in the heat of the game, they were broke. So, but rules are rules.
Yeah, it was loosely based on a TV one from the season 2 US one, I believe. Kind of like called the Gladiator, I think. And then we kind of switched it up, and it evolved into a kind of get to the end type thing, rather than just a battle. So maybe the actual Gladiator might be in the future.
All right, so here we are at challenge 16. Now, this challenge was one that was my idea, and it was to cut and copy challenges that had previously been done. So what I wanted the harder part of parkour pool, the 4 easier tanks from diving for diamonds, not the impossible one, as a world hole just appeared out of nowhere. And then, of course, 3 bridges, which was basically from the mole bridge. Now, these 3 challenges that I've just mentioned previously, these were challenges that Gizmo built. So, but I copy and pasted, in a sense, these 3 challenges into one, and wanted to basically, give them a little bit of something where challenges they've already been through, and just kind of make it more of a trifecta where they actually had to run through these. We practiced these a few times. We took our first time as a group, the helpers, running this, and we gave the players even more time than we needed doing it as Ross destroys the challenge.
Ross.
So the players did have plenty of time to actually do this, but this one I think was pretty nerve-wracking for them. Watching the gladiators fight the players was interesting. Different players had different ways of fighting back. Some didn't want to fight. Some wanted to fight. Getting knocked off, as you saw, just happened. Uh, it was. I thought it worked out to be a pretty good challenge. It was fun to see.
Yeah, I really like this challenge. Oh, I died.
So, did you have something, Piper?
Yeah, somebody did put in the comments actually about this challenge, the first bridge. One of the players just ran straight past me. I didn't move. It wasn't because of anything molish, because we've got to be obviously balanced in this. I think I just froze at the time.
All right, so that wraps up that challenge. All right, so here is a sneak peek at a challenge coming in our next episode. What could it be?
Ooh.
All right, so normally what we'd be showing you right now would be the room of the eliminated player. And mainly that is so you can see what the mole had to say. But the way we filmed this season, this episode and the last episode were filmed along with the finale. So the mole actually did not have a chance to go leave a note in the eliminated player's room. So we have no message for our previously eliminated player. Sad face. But we do have the results so far of your voting. So going into our last episode, when I shut the poll off to bring up our last Friday's episode, you guys currently think Kama is the mole.
Ooh.
Right or wrong, you'll have to wait and see. But we're almost to that point. And finally, I know everybody here is eagerly awaiting this. Take it away, Giz.
The mole comment of the week.
All right, and our comment of the week comes from Alan Clark, 28, and he says,
You guys are my mole models.
Aww.
wow.
That was an amazing comment. I did not pick that one.
So there you have it. Mole Confidential, Season 3, Episode 8. This Friday, the last two challenges, final quiz, and then it's all but decided. So guys, think quickly. Who's going to be that last victim? Who's the only survivor? And who is the mole?
Bye.
I have an anvil.